seconds of zippity doo dah. Can I do that?
I don't know. Just go ahead and do it and see what happens. That's what I do. I have more cease and desist orders than any of you guys ever dreamed about. You just try it. Worst case scenario is they say no.
Hey, Gene,
Yeah,
the answer to her question is she can't do it legally,
thank
but
you.
depends on where she's going to show it.
So I'm going to show it on YouTube. So at the end, so for the credits, I'm going to have a dragon singing, but I changed, like, I changed those 15 seconds of zippity doo dah, zip as to I'm flying my wings now high in the sky, blah blah blah. So, and that's how I'm changing it. And then I'm having my friend play the chords to zippity doo dah with those words, but it's only 15 seconds.
Well, if their software catches it, they'll pull it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it may not. I mean,
No.
Because it's so short.
The rule is 2 bars, two bars of music, and their software is designed to find it and pull it.
Even if somebody is just playing the chords.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually how they'll find it. Now,
Yeah.
they may not too. As Gene knows, the software is imperfect.
Yeah, I've had a couple, and I'm kidding about cease and desist, but I get these little red dots from YouTube, and they'll give me a message like, if you're just sharing this with your family and friends, it's okay, but if you're making it public, it isn't, blah, blah, blah. So-and-so has, complained about it. So most of the time, I just take them off. I'm not going to bother with any of that crap. I don't know what to say. It's just, it's exactly what, there's no hard and fast rule. They do whatever they want. They own the copyright.
And of course, Arlene, that music that you're going to use is not socially acceptable today.
Well, I understand that, I know, but because,
that's so
because I'm
good.
changing the word, it's not going to be zippity doo dah. It's going to have when I fly my wings and fly, and I go on with that. But so I'm going to credit the writer of the lyric of the tune, the melody. Do I have to credit the lyricist too, even though I'm not using those words?
The whole thing you're doing is illegal. Credits, they don't make any difference.
Don't matter.
It doesn't mitigate it in any way. I'm sorry to say this I'm the guy in the club that unfortunately brought up this whole license thing, which I wish I never had. But
I'm listening. I just put my earplug in, so it wouldn't bother you.
Okay.
I've only had one really, really, really positive experience. I want to do a video for a animal rescue in Michigan, and there was a song that I heard on the radio called "Choose Me," and it was about picking a dog. It's a country song. And I thought about it, and I said, well, that's sure as hell ain't going on YouTube. I'll get caught on that right away. So I wrote a letter to the recording company, and they actually sent me back permission to use it for one time and no charge. I was absolutely amazed because people told me that never happens. Nobody will do it. And then I found out later the artist, and I don't have his name handy, the artist decided to release it for use to animal rescue organizations all across the country and just, gave it a blank go. But I don't have an answer. It's just something you got to experiment with and basically work under the assumption it's illegal. And then go from there. God, now we're all dizzy. That's good. We have a ton of people here today, 20 people. This is getting better every week. Arlene, are you working on a cartoon? I just heard you. Are you working on animated?
And do you know, it's taking, and I know you're not going to believe this because it's hard for me to believe, but Jimmy is here and he's, watching me do this. It's taking me anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per minute for this cartoon.
What?
10 to 15 hours per minute for this cartoon. I had to do the wings to get the wings flying right, but the wings can't fly because I can't get the one wing to syncopate with the other wing, and it's a nightmare. But, and so I'm doing it in After Effects. I have to learn and I have to find music. I have to find sound effects. Yes, it takes hours and hours and hours to try to find free music, good music, try to find it on the internet. I have to put in sounds. I have to put in growling. I have to put in crying dragons. I have to, all kinds of sounds. I have to try to use which sound works with the, it's 10 to 15 hours per minute.
Where do you find flying dragons?
Well,
One on
so,
that patio the other night.
so what I did was, so this is what I did. So I found a JPEG of a dragon, okay? So then I outlined in photo, I'm good in Photoshop. So I outlined it in Photoshop. I put it into After Effects. After Effects is a nightmare program. So then I had to animate the wings, and then I had to get the wings to go, but I couldn't get the one wing to go. It's okay if you just look at it. It's all right. It's a little off, but it's okay. It's a crying dragon. So, so anyway, and that's what takes so long. Trying to find the music, trying to find the sound effects, trying to get the special effects to work, trying to figure out how to do the special effects, try to put everything together, and then the music. What music works, what music, and then, the atmosphere and the smoke and the this and the that. Yeah, 10 to 15 hours a minute.
So Arlene, want to teach a class on animation?
It takes too long. No, the thing is, you have to be good. You have to be good in Photoshop. You have to learn Photoshop. You have to have the software. You have to have After Effects. If you don't have After Effects, it doesn't work.
Welcome to multimedia.
Yeah. Am I right about After Effects being a nightmare to use? Absolutely. For me, I can't get the 3D motion tracking in my head. It just won't work. And so I try to do it pixel by pixel, or frame by, not pixel by pixel, frame by frame.
It sounds like it.
It's.
Hey, Arlene, are you using the puppet tool? What are you using?
Yeah, I'm using the puppet tool. But
it's
yes.
pretty straightforward. I use it
well,
all
the
the
puppet
time.
tool, not when it comes to some of the wings, because when you're
But I've never
trying to
done
get-
wings.
But when you're trying to get those wings to move together, and when you're using the puppet tool and you're clicking and then you hit the control key and then you're trying to get it and then you're trying to do the other one and then the other one just doesn't seem to make it. Nightmare. And then you have to do it again. Oh yeah,
Oh,
So-
those dragons.
those dragons. And then
It keeps you busy.
but it's a very, and then you have to write it and then you have to rewrite it because some of the things like,
My God.
I don't think I can find I can't find animation, or I don't know how to do it, or I can't do, I'm not, talented enough to do that kind of an animation, to do the story, and I have to rewrite the story a little bit so it fits what I can do with the animation. And then I have to
Eileen, just so you know, probably 6 or 8 months ago, I asked a friend, Katie, the girl that was our guest on a long time ago from New York. She worked for Disney a long time, and I asked her one day about animations, and she said, "My God, they're so complicated. We will have a team with 25 people working on a 2-minute animation." So absolutely, it's just as hard for the pros. It's just that they have the resources.
Well, and the thing is with my cartoon, it's not 3D. It's not like Blender where you can have that character moving and you can turn it around and you can, when I have my goblin moving, zoom, he just goes across the screen. He's not there with 3D, so you don't see him moving and you don't see his mouth going. You just see him with the legs, and then he just goes across the screen, and that's the goblin. And so then if I have to animate, like, yes, I do put it in with the puppet tool. So what I did was I went cheap because I need a green screen, because I need Jimmy with a sword, because he has to kill some of these little skeletons in how do I think of this? I know in a cave. And so I bought some green material, like green cardboard, And so he is now going to put the green screen up for me. And then he's going to be there, trying to kill these little things. Yeah, when you see this cartoon, you're going to say, oh God, Arlene, don't you have anything more, don't you have anything better to do with your life?
I think I'd farm it out to somebody.
No, farm it out. Jeez. Is there any? I know nothing about animated, whatever the word is. Isn't there any specifically designed software just made to do that?
Blender, but I don't know it.
Oh, Blender. Yeah, I've seen Blender. I've seen the results of Blender. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey, Gene, there are about a dozen
There.
programs that are free and or cost a small amount online. I've used Blender, but I've never used the other ones, but they're out there. Just look for them. Whether they work, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a question for Phil. Phil, prior to Sonny Bono, who went to Congress and got the copyright law changed,
Yeah, the Bono law, yeah.
yeah, what was the protection back then prior to that change for his buddies?
It changed all the time. The Millennium Copyright Act, which is the Sonny Bono Act, really changed everything. And I'm surprised it didn't change it, but 2 years ago, it set up so that each year, the material prior to 1922 moved up a year. So now we're at 1923. So anything prior to 1923, with exceptions, is in the public domain. So next year it'll be 1924, and that went into effect 2 years ago. So eventually, the idea is it's advancing each year. That was the key element of the Bono Copyright Act.
But prior to that, wasn't it something like 5-10 years after the song came out that the copyright protection disappeared?
It varied. I mean, it was changed from the teens on. It changed a lot, and that's a subject for an attorney to say, oh, this has this exception in 1944, blah blah blah. So, and it also applies to movies and to, as well as music and books. So, as an example, the Rhapsody in Blue now is in the public domain. The family raised holy hell over it, but the Congress wouldn't change the law. So every year it moves up. Now that doesn't mean that you have the rights to use it, because they're performance rights as well. Somebody who recorded it, they also may have a copyright on their rendition of it, on their recording of it, not just on the original music. But anything right now, I think it's 23, 19, and Mickey Mouse, in 2 years, the original Mickey Mouse goes into public domain. And Disney tried, but they weren't able to get it changed. This is a whole seminar. I mean, this is really complex.
Cyril, we're back to my advice. You just put it up and flag it.
Yeah, the worst thing that can happen is a cease and desist. The lawyers aren't going to sue you or do anything.
You just send them a note back and say, okay, I got rid of it.
Yeah, and if you comply with them, then generally you're not going to have a problem. The problem is, there's a bar in Tucson that was put out of business over copyright because they were doing karaoke, and they refused the lawyer's letter. They refused to pick up the ASCAP BMI license, and they sued them and put them out of business. So it can happen. And also, as the composers lose money more and more with people stealing music, they get hungrier, and so they're looking for revenue any place they can get it. And they have actually sued little old ladies who made copied music off the internet and then played it or whatever. And they're also really hot on going after wedding photographers who do videos. I don't know why they picked on them. You okay, Gene?
Yeah, I'm fine. Choked on my coffee. I used to do wedding photography
Gene,
all the time. And I think about how many times, music was along with the videography.
Well, when
Scary.
before people were stealing music online, nobody cared. They didn't care about wedding photographers. Now they're looking for, ASCAP is looking for more revenue.
Yeah, yeah. I can do you a seminar on how to steal the music online, but that's just another story.
So Jean, YouTube can remove something, but can the person who posted it remove it?
Sure.
Of
How?
course.
You just go to your YouTube. When you post something on YouTube, you're doing it through a YouTube Studio, as it's called. And you can go to Studio and you see all the videos that you have on and just click it and delete it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Thanks.
And some of the other ones, they don't, I'm joking around with you guys. When I put something up and it's copyright flag, they just send me a little email and they say, the music in such and such a video was contested by so and so. And they give you some choices. Sometimes they'll let you use it if there's no commercial attribution on your website. In other words, and sometimes they won't. That's why I say it's really just a crapshoot. I'd go and put it up and see what happens. Um, Sometimes they say, oh, you can use it for private use, it can't be public. And I don't know why those flags are different. I just got to the point where if they flag one of mine, I just take it off. I don't even want to bother with it. It's too much hassle.
So I have a question. You said the 3-minute challenge, was that part of the whole set that Brian and Susan had put together?
Yes.
So
Yes.
did that mean they took down the whole speaker series? I mean, or whatever it was, the whole
No.
thing?
No, I don't know the answer. It's still up. I have to ask him. I don't know. Yeah, Brian would be
I'd
the
like
only.
to ask a question.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, were you done?
yeah.
Well, when we show videos at Multimedia SIG over this meeting, if we have copyrighted music, I'm assuming that this is going on YouTube because we're recording it for YouTube, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so right there is a potential problem. And then the second question is there kind of a limit or a threshold to how many times you can get your knuckles wrapped on, for the camera club on YouTube before they won't maybe let us post anything on there
No,
anymore?
the worst case scenarios, they give you, there's no number in terms of how many times they tell you if you take them down or alter them. But if you refuse to take her down or alter them, then they will put you in a timeout and they won't let you use YouTube for 6 weeks or something. They have done that I'm aware of, but I'm not sure. The secret to, if we just don't put it, I mean, if we just want to show it among the SIG and we don't put it on YouTube, nobody knows. Who cares? We've only been putting it up on YouTube, Sarah, because there are people who can't make it on Monday morning. But if it's a problem, I'd just say forget it and we won't put that one on.
We just turn off the recording for that
Yeah,
portion.
yeah. I've just been too lazy to go back. You've got a SIG that's an hour long, roughly, give or take 10 minutes. And I've just been too lazy to go back to pull that recorded video out and then go through it in an editor and take out parts we don't want. It's so much easier just to click a button and send it all to YouTube. But we could theoretically take parts of it out. That's not a problem either.
Gene,
Yeah.
do you have any way of determining how many people are actually accessing your YouTube?
Yeah.
What you've done?
Yeah.
Is it worthwhile in that sense? You're seeing people using it?
Oh, yeah. It shows up. Look, Jim, anytime you look on YouTube at one of the club's videos, you will see views down at the bottom. It tells you how many views it's had. And the numbers are quite staggering. I mean, not for these SIGs. We'll get another 5, 10, 15 views of this SIG meeting if I put it up. But when you go to things like Showtime and Travelog, there'll be another 35 or 40 people that'll watch it on YouTube.
But are there lots of other people outside of the club?
I have no way of knowing.
That's why the numbers are up. You don't know exactly how many
No,
are from the club.
no,
Okay.
no, I have no idea.
Jane,
The amazing thing I find is that people are watching it. I mean, in large numbers.
Jane,
Well,
Jane,
geez.
I have a video I'd like to show sometime when you have time.
When we're all done gabbing about copyright.
Right, what?
No, I'm kidding. We might as well move on to that. We beat this music horse to death. And I'm sure, we'll get some more information. Somewhere I found a link and I will send it to you guys that answers a bunch of the questions about music that we just had today from some organization, copyright organization. But let's get to God, who's got a video? So Peg, you have one?
Yes, I will try to show it. You know me.
We're patient.
Okay, you're patient. Good. Here we go. This is getting a.
You're muted, Gene.
I know. Go down to share screen, the green one.
You can't see it?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Oh, I can't.
I can't.
Okay, you're no, I don't see it. Okay, we're really good. Go to share, and then when you click it on, you'll get that white box, and there are two little things down in the corner that say share computer sound, optimize screen sharing for the video clip, and you click those two. Then you have to click on the thing that you're going to play. So do you have your video up on the desktop and ready to run? Okay,
Locked up.
I think we lost her.
She's frozen.
Oh no.
Oh, now she's back.
She woke up.
Back. No, there's Peg. No, she's frozen again, I think.
No.
Peg, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not seeing anything, so you're gonna, do you have video you want to play up on your desktop ready to play?
Okay, wait a minute. I thought I had it, but you didn't get it?
No.
No,
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. You got to tell me sooner.
We have.
Oh, well, I couldn't hear you. Okay, let's try. What the heck is it? Sorry. I better go out and come in again because I need to start it again. Right? Or
Gene's frozen.
I gotta practice it. Never mind. Well, I'll go back to your other people. I'll practice this. I don't know why I have so much trouble. It couldn't be me. It could be the computer, of course. So go back out. I'll try it again. I thought I had it, but I'll have to go out and start it. And well, never mind. Help.
Does anyone else have a video to
I
share?
do. I've got one I can share. Arlene's got one too. Arlene, why don't you go ahead since you haven't been here for a while?
Well, So Jimmy and I went to Benson, or at Bisbee, and so this one is of Bisbee.
Yeah. God, I'm back. I got thrown out. Peg threw me out. No, just kidding.
I wish I knew what I was doing wrong, but
Well, according to this, you're doing nothing wrong. Start playing the video.
no, somebody else is doing it now.
Oh, okay.
Arlene's playing hers.
All right. There we go.
Good.
Love the music. That was great.
That was so fun.
I like the ghosts.
Yes.
Clever.
About 9 years ago, my wife Bonnie and I stayed in the third floor of the Copper Queen and actually did feel we were experiencing the ghost noises as we were trying to get to sleep.
How about that? Wow. Huh. Now that didn't happen to us.
I like the
Oh, you
smoke
did
effect.
find good music, Arlene.
Sorry, what?
You did find good music.
Mhm.
Well, and that's what takes so long because you have to find the
Yeah.
right music. I mean, that could take hours, really.
Right.
At least you had one genre, which was piano, and it was the same type of music throughout.
Jean, you're muted.
Thank you. I keep muting myself and forgetting it.
Hmm.
I think that for me personally, a gallery presentation is the most difficult of all the multimedia that I do. I seem to have more trouble with it. And you did a beautiful job, and I think it's because you had a theme. You did the Mayberry on weed, and it worked out perfect. You really did. You've got to, and I think that might be the secret to the gallery presentations that are really, really good. I'm thinking of the one with crayons and some of the other ones that were so well done. And I think they're well done because they have a theme. I don't know. I've got one I'm going to show you really quickly. Sherry, before she agreed to be a co-host on this, or eventually maybe the host, um, she asked me about signing on to the video, our Zoom channel for the club, and I was going to write it all down, and I said, this is insane. So I've been using this program called OBS, Open Broadcast Studio. It is an incredibly powerful program for you to make your own videos. I'm going to say instructional videos, how to do it videos where you want to share your screen or you want to share some pictures. It was originally designed to feed live onto YouTube, but now it's set up where you can actually record videos that you made and use them any way you want. And it works surprisingly well. So I have a short one here I'm going to try and show for you, but I might be as bad as Peg. I'm trying to see what I want.
I'm the best at that.
No, 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 no. I'm just as good as you are. Oh, I have to get started. Excuse me. I followed my own stuff and didn't pay attention here, but that's okay. My trouble is I always put them onto the desktop, and then I definitely have a problem when I go to show them. But that's right. We're here. And I'm going to give this one more try. There we go. Too many screens, too much to see. All right. This is my last shot at this. Recording, share, stop. Oh, finally. God, I was getting worried there.
Make me feel good.
I got it. Here we go. All right, this is what I made for Sherry. You guys can take a look. Thing you need to do is to log into Zoom, but you have to log into Zoom with the Camera Club's credentials. When you log in with the Camera Club's credentials, you will see this GVR Camera Club or the Zoom meeting page. Go to Meetings, find the Multimedia SIG. If a co-host has already started the meeting, you will see an option to join it. If the meeting hasn't been started, you'll see an option to start it. For example, here's a meeting that's already been started. Your option is to join or end it. And of course, you don't want to end it right now. On this case, the only option is to start it because the meeting hasn't been started. When you click join or start, you will then enter the meeting as a co-host, and you will have the full ability to do all of the hosting details. The only thing we want to remember is when the meeting is all done, please come back to the screen and make sure the meeting was ended. Otherwise, it plugs it up for everybody else on the system. That was made with the open broadcast software, and it's just basically a screen record with me talking in the background. But anything you show on the screen or anything that's on your computer's camera, you can then record. It even has a studio mode that allows you to see the recording on one side and yourself on the other, so you can make adjustments. I'm only showing it to you because it's there. It's really powerful, and there's all kinds of video on how to do it on YouTube where you can just look at and watch somebody else struggle through it. Because when I first did it, I had a horrible time. I couldn't make it work. I had these images all over the screen, and I found out I was recording my own screen over and over and over and over again inside of itself, and I was able to straighten it out. But still, it's an interesting program. It's definitely worth looking into.
Gene?
Yeah.
Another question. I'm noticing on my multiple screen that shows everybody's picture that Holly Chorba has just a photo up there. So apparently she stopped her video, and what came up then was this photo of her to put something
Correct.
in the box. How was that done?
I don't know. Let me turn mine up and see if it comes up.
Jim, I wish I knew, because up until now it wasn't done either. Up until today.
Let me turn mine off and see what happens. No, see, mine just comes up with a name. So I have no idea.
I think I think James, when you sign in, meaning to create an account or whatever, that's where you have the option to put in photos and change information. So I would assume if you go to your Zoom account, you can make that change.
I'll find out. I'll look and see. There's a project for me. Like I don't have enough. Anybody else got one they want to show?
I got a quick one.
All right, Kevin.
I got a new video camera about a week ago, and I wanted to get out and shoot it and just try some stuff and kind of get comfortable with the functionality of the camera. So I took it over to Canoa Ranch just this past Thursday and tried to shoot some pictures of the birds and the people and stuff. So I put a quick little 2.5-minute video together. There you
nice.
go.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. What kind of a camera did you get, Kevin?
It's a Canon C300 Mark II, so it's a camera that shoots 4K video. And it also, I used the thing that was really tough, I would love to have incorporated some of the natural sound of what was going on with the ducks quacking and everything else, but it was so windy that all you hear in the mic is a lot of wind noise. So at some point it wasn't worth using any of that, but it worked out, the camera worked out great, and it was a lot of fun to get out with it and try to get comfortable with it.
It's gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I liked it.
Yeah, don't miss Daniel Grayson's travelogue on he's got some neat bird videos on that, and at least for one that he sent me recently, he just didn't record sound either, but it was an owl, so maybe there wasn't much.
Wow.
Kevin, I liked your choice of music and the way you tried to time when the ducks were going under the water, flapping their wings with the upbeat tempo of the music. It was very well done.
Thanks, Sarah. That's part of the fun, you know. Sometimes as you're putting some sort of a video together, whether it's a slideshow or whatever, you're trying to move things around. Originally, you might think, oh, this goes good here at the beginning, but at some point you go, oh no, this works better at the end. So I think that's a big part of the fun of it too, of putting something like that together.
And where did you actually find this music then for this wonderful video you did?
Oh, this is my Audio Blocks, that subscription thing, that service that I belong to. So I talked about it a week or two ago, where it's really nice. You go in, you select a genre of music maybe that you're looking for. I was looking for something that was a little bit more classical, something different. And then from there, you just start listening to clips, and usually within 10 seconds, the first 10 seconds of the song, I know whether I'm going to like it or not. And then from there, if I do like something, I'll kind of download it and put it in a little folder. And I might download 5, 6 songs, depending on if I feel I've got it, great. If not, then I go ahead and keep listening to music and stuff. And there's also times, Barb, where as you start listening to something and it's working great for 20 or 30 seconds, and then all at once the song gets a little funky or weird and it just doesn't work right. And you're like, okay, on to the next one.
What's the name of your program?
That service is called audioblocks.com. It's about $150 a year. So for me, with the stuff I do for business stuff, it's essential. It's a little pricey if you're just doing this for fun. I don't know. I don't think I would belong to it if I was doing it for fun.
Maybe the camera club could belong to it and let other camera club members use that service.
Oh, sorry, Linda's gone.
Linda's gone. She left. It's a possibility, you guys. Actually, it is a possibility. I don't know. We have to look at.
Yeah, I think you'd have to look into it, Gene. I don't know.
I don't either.
Legally, if there would be an issue, it'd be almost like, in a sense, like software. Now, if let's say that at the camera club on one of the computers, you had that program, and a person could just log on and then download music and then take it to their computer, I think you'd be okay.
Yeah, I do too.
You think so, Phil?
Audio Blocks, I'm a member too, and they have special licenses, and they may have one that would apply to the camera club. I don't know.
Yeah.
But one of the things about that group is that you can pay just for a month and then cancel it.
Yep.
And they have some really good stuff.
I think there's about 100,000 songs and special effects. Arlene was talking about looking for stuff, and I've done the same thing where maybe I want some sort of a sound effect or a door creaking or something like that, and you basically go in and type in door creaking, and then here comes some special effects, and you just listen to them and download what you want. It's really nice.
Yeah, and they have video. They have video as well. Yeah, it's a good. I don't know how they can afford to do what they do, but it's there.
I hope it's audio blocks. I stuck it on the notes. on
Yeah,
the
it's
side.
audioblocks.com. It's all one word.
Okay. I'll stick it up there and then.
Yeah, one of the things, just as Gene is ruminating
Typing
or
away.
whatever, what you want to have is a universal license. You don't want to have one that's narrow that you can only use on Thursdays or whatever. So make sure it's in perpetuity and that you have all rights. Now, generally the only restriction on those is feature movies that show in theaters. There, they don't give you rights for that. But that's what you want. You want it unlimited, royalty free.
Wow.
Gene, I have a question for Phil. Phil, suppose you wanted to use some music and were willing to pay for it. How do you find out how much that would cost? What would be the process?
There are clearance organizations that you can find on the web that will look that up. I had a piece of music based on a lot of the pictures in Europe. I wanted to use it commercially, and I really liked this music. And so I went to the publisher and said, here's what I want, here's where it's going to be shown, whatever. And it was $27,000 for a year. And so that's when I stopped doing that. But there are outfits in Hollywood that will clear movies, clear music or whatever for a fee. And of course you have to pay them to do the clearance and then you pay for the clearance. So it's kind of an expensive proposition. I think I usually use music from an outfit in Canada, and they have their own composers. The stuff is pretty good, although I like audio blocks.
How much is that, audio blocks?
It's 150 a year.
Yeah, 150 a year.
Yeah, I it's been a while, but yeah.
So the nice thing though too is if you were really ambitious, you could sit there and you could, like Phil said, you could do it for a month or two, download the heck out of it, spend days downloading music and just build up your own little library and then quit. And then you've got stuff probably to use forever.
Yeah, once you pay the license, they say, if you look at the license, that it's yours to use any way you want forever. And that's the kind of license you want.
Wow. That's the only answer I got. As long as it's not $3,000 a year or whatever, I can handle it.
Now, this composer wanted $27,000 for a year.
Oh my God. Have any of you used Pixabay? Pixabay? Okay. Arlene has, I have. Pixabay is a repository of open source still photos, but they also have a lot of video clips. And I've used a couple of their video clips. They're all free to use. The only problem with Pixabay is its organization. There's just so much stuff there you have to wade through till you find what you're looking for. But it's all open source and it's kind of a co-op in the sense that you can join and you can put some of your stuff up onto Pixabay, and it's shareable among the members. But it's an interestingly different source. I never looked at them for music. I've just pulled still pictures. In fact, the library behind me here is off of Pixabay. So it just depends. It's got lots of stuff though. Take a look at it. I'll stick it in the notes also.
They also, if you're doing a website or anything, they do have illustrations that have no background. And what is it? I want to use the term for that.
Vector graphic. The vector
They're
graphic.
PNG.
And PNGs also. So they were a great source if you want something like that. And I also used them for video when I was going to move something around on the video. I used the PNG because it didn't, come in as a white block as a picture would.
Just a warning, there are two companies or three companies that I would never mess with. One of them is Getty
Yeah.
Images, and Almay is another one. And then anything to do with Disney. Disney has the meanest lawyers in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else had mentioned Getty and they said they were really bad to do business with. That's all I know.
Well, they're also very, very expensive, but they will pursue you.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Sherry, I'm going to shut up. You want to tell everybody what we need to do is every week we've kind of, or we should have had a theme, something we wanted to talk about. Today, I just threw this whole music thing out there because Phil asked me to. But Sherry, you need to get together with everybody and say, hey, are there some themes? Are there some things you want to talk about? And then we'll, find some people to talk about it with them, I think.
So, hey, are there any
Yours.
themes you guys want to talk about?
Ooh.
Are we all ready to jump into doing cartoons with
No.
our theme next week?
No, no.
We'll leave that to Arlene.
Yeah, if you have hours and hours and hours and you don't have a life, then you do animation. That's what you do. Jimmy is so upset with me. He said, isn't there anything else you can do other than sit in front of your computer? He said he waits for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he said, when I said, yeah, I'll get to the soup. Well, then I forget the soup and then it's boiling over. And then he gets he has had it with my animation.
Maybe we need a counseling service.
I'd like to offer another suggestion for Arlene. Arlene, you need to convince a bunch of interns to work for you for free and then just boss them around.
Hey, Gene,
Yes.
Teach him how to cook.
Gene,
He's learning how to cook.
No, teach him how to do animation.
I got a question and maybe an idea, and that would be to write up some instructions about how to make videos that will project and show best on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin is great at that. Kevin's always show beautifully.
Yeah, Kevin's are really good.
Thank you. You're very kind to say that.
Could we just send our material to you?
Sure. I'll be happy to help out, Peg.
Okay, I need you to come over.
Hey,
I can
Kevin,
do
I
that.
like that C300.
One thing I learned about that today, I'm kind of thinking that I'll be doing this storytelling on for the big class. And
Yes.
today I heard, well, I better make sure when I do my example of a story that I have royalty-free music in there.
You learned.
Yeah, but there's probably other things like that Kevin could tell me that when you do this to be done on Zoom, also remember this, and that.
Right.
I'd be happy to try to help out with something if we could figure out something, sure. I think the biggest problem too is, part of it is some of us are using software that others don't have, and so it doesn't translate as well. I mean, you can do general ideas, like iMovie or something, but to be real specific about how maybe I'm not up on iMovie and some of the other software that the PC people use would make it a little hard.
Yeah, but you're on Final Cut, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, which
But Kevin, most of the time, if you mention something and show how to do it on any of the Adobe products or on the Apple products, it translates over to the other stuff. You just got to find out where.
Okay. I'd be happy to figure something out with people, try to help out if I can.
All right, Sherry, you got one.
All right, yay.
I have another thought, and that is maybe somebody could write up just a few lines and send it out on how to show your movie on Zoom. Because there might be some people that would show a movie, but they're afraid to try and do it because they don't want to look like they're stupid, like me.
I was actually thinking about that too, Ron, and I was kind of playing in my head with like using my camera to take to pull the screen up so that we can actually point and show when we're telling when we're trying to instruct, because we can't see their screen while we're instructing them. But
Right.
if I could put it up on mine and take a picture of it and then be able to show this is where you're looking for it or something like that. Anyway, I was thinking of trying to do something like that.
Well, it'd be nice if it was just written out on a sheet, and then you can have the sheet in front of you and say, okay, I have to click on da 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 da, and then click on this spot, and at least you can find it on your screen while you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
It seems like the order of that process is key.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make it easy for new people to our SIG, people who haven't been in the SIG before, beginners, to be able to be involved because they have a way of showing stuff easily without embarrassing themselves that they don't know how to use Zoom.
That was my idea to begin with, right?
Okay.
Well, my problem is, if I can explain it, I made the movie on iPad, then I transfer it to my PC, and then I go in and start a movie and show it to myself, and it shows just fine. And this time I needed to go back out again, as Grace has said, start the video, then go into Zoom, and then bring it in, which I thought I did. And of course, I can't tell if you people aren't seeing it. I did hear Jean giving comments, but I thought she was instructing Sherry on how to record it. So I didn't know it was, you couldn't see it. I saw it, it was very good.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing it next week.
I'll keep trying on it.
Okay, so somebody send Peg a list of what to do when she's ready to be ready for next week.
Kevin, what's your email?
And I'm curious if it's different on a Mac than on the PC, because Grace, when you've given the instructions on the Mac, it's different for me using my PC. So they're not, I'm thinking we might need.
No, I've used it.
PC one.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people that's used it on a Windows machine. I've used it on a Mac, and I've used it on an Android Linux machine. And the Zoom interface is the same on all of them. The only thing that might be different is where the little block with everybody's pictures, the view thing, whether it's on the right or on the left, or whether the bars on the top or the bottom might change. But everything is the same. The interface is the same.
And the trick to showing your video is to have it up and running
Yeah.
and before you go to share.
Yeah, don't do what I did in a couple of times in a row now, where I've had the video somewhere and then I had to go find it to share it. That's what causes the confusion. And that's actually, I think, Peg's confusion was just finding it.
Yeah.
If you'd like, Jean or Sherry, I can put together a little instructional sheet and then maybe do some screen grabs along with those instructions. And then that way people could refer to that, and we'll send it out as a PDF, and then people can look at it and they can see step by step what they need to do to play their video, if you'd like me to do that.
Oh, yes, that would be so wonderful.
Okay, I'll work on that in the next couple of days.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Anything you need sent out to the whole group as an email, just give it to me and I'll stick it into Wild Apricot and it'll go out to everybody then. You don't have to maintain a mailing list.
Will do, Gene.
Okay.
And I just sent an email to Jean and Sherry, but Jean, you can share it. As I was learning Zoom, I was keeping track of all of the tutorials that I watched, and I have them categorized and so forth, and they're on a Word document. And so for anybody who's wanting to know those advanced features of Zoom, I just sent it to Jean and Sherry, but
All right, I'll share it with everybody. And also, if you go to Zoom.us, their main site, they have a whole educational section. It's probably got 30 or 40 videos in it on how to do various things in Zoom, and they're done by the company professionally. They're
Right.
very well done.
and some of them are there. The trouble is that you watch a tutorial and there's like 2 seconds of a screenshot that's in there that was exactly what I needed to know. and I backed it up and wait a minute, he did this? Oh, and I had to watch the whole thing to get that little piece of information, but crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how to get those reports, Jean.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, are we good for today? Anything else?
Sounds good to me. Thanks,
Good.
everybody.
Good.
Everybody.
Good
Sherry,
session.
Next week.
Yeah.
Sherry, thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank
Jean,
you.
I have a question before you go.
Yes, ma'am, I'm not going anywhere. Go ahead.
Okay. Is last week's SIG on YouTube?
It should be. I thought I put it up there.
Okay, I couldn't find
Now I'll
it.
check for you, but I'm not sure. But
You
it
know
should
what?
be. It should be up
Oh.
there. I thought I put them up.
Okay, this talk about the music and the music rights.
Yes.
Remember last week I showed my video that I made, my first and only video that I made 2 years ago. I don't think that was free music. And I started, now that I'm putting it all together, I'm trying to see, why don't I have YouTube on SIG of last week? And I got scared. I thought maybe
Oh,
they
no.
no.
If it's not up there, it's because I forgot to put it up. But I'll look and I'll double check and see
Okay.
where it is and what the heck happened to it.
Okay.
I usually like just close this out and immediately I have to switch over to the club's YouTube account and then upload it. But Phil
Okay.
would have, Phil's email address is the